Yo, how you doing, guys? It's me, the one AJ, representing. Well, it's free for them boys. Me, the one AJ, Anthony Jordan.
Double V, the Viceroy of Verisimilitude, Nico Luro in the house.
Me, Den The Tech, the wrestling fan. That doesn't really watch wrestling.
Except he does.
He does. He's watching.
I do when it's live and in person. Once in a while, I watch it on TV if I'm with these guys. But yeah, that's all the time.
But yeah, there's 3/5 of them boys, so you know what that means. We're here. And why are we here? This is a topic that even Den The Tech can get involved in, because we're talking about the man himself, Mr. John Cena, who you can't see. That's
I thought we were talking about the man, not the other guy.
Well, this is it. That is part of the conversation, because between conversations, be it prediction shows, be it discussion shows, there's the talk of the time is here, the time is now. It's the last run. John Cena and the elusive, the Everest of it all, 17-time champ. Does John deserve? Yes. Let's not put that argument out there, to be the one to dethrone Ric Flair, who I'll be meeting next week.
Can I just correct you on one thing as we're talking about Cena? To quote the great man himself, no one ever deserves anything. One earns something. So the question is, has Cena earned it?
Yeah. So
except for the fact that he said it in his own press conference, I deserve to get a pass. So he started
earned.
to use his
He said
own
earned. Let's bring it up now. He said earned.
No, I think he did. I think you're right. I think he said he's earned. But I mean, look, when you earn it, you deserve it through ownership. That's the word.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do better than that, Mr.
No. But here's the thing. So here we go. Has John earned it? Yes. You know, one of the things I've always say when it comes to John Cena, we can argue who's the greatest of all time. No man has main evented more or been in the forefront of a mania more than Cena. You could go from 20 to 30. He was a presence in there. Not many can say that, be it your Hogans, your Rocks, your Austins, even HBK, you know. That's the thing. So here we go with the question of, should John decide? And I say decide because it depends what kind of company man you choose to be. Who does he go for? We have 4 potential options.
4?
4?
Raw, SmackDown, potentially NXT. Charlotte.
Oh, the fuck out of here with that! Stop.
Well,
yes, he does have NXT.
He does have NXT. Whether he chooses it is relevant. Well, of course. Listen, hey, when Charlotte done it, we could have all, but hey, it was an awesome match.
I did. I hard.
But was it a good match?
By the way, doesn't respect.
Sorry, I don't care about the match. I care about his legacy at this point.
Doesn't respect NXT up here. Just letting you know.
Other way,
me or that way.
Oh, it's the other way. Oh, wow. Okay, so my screen is wrong way.
Yeah.
On my screen, this looks like.
I don't respect NXT. I no longer see the value in NXT because of the transition from NXT to main roster. There's no point getting emotionally involved.
Things have changed.
No,
they haven't.
No,
they haven't. They've got worse.
Changed.
You're absolutely right. Things have changed. They've got even worse.
No, it can't.
It has.
No, you just okay. Let's move on because I
I
literally got rose tinted glasses on.
NXT champion Carmelo Hayes comes to the main roster. The next big thing. What does he do? Fucking around with Andrade.
Which isn't a bad thing. It's
7
just the level
weeks.
of where they've put that.
Where's he at now? Nowhere. Not even on TV. Hey, NXT.
Yeah, you want someone to come in and be the top guy right away, or the top. Well, you can't be the top right away.
No. Definitely not. I agree with that. You can't be the top guy right away, but you can't convince me that when we're talking in the scope of, as AJ framed it, in conversation for one of the greatest of all time, maybe not in ring, but for what he's done for the industry and being a constant needle mover for 10 years, love him or hate him, he's box office. You cannot try and validate the idea that the way they even present NXT, which is developmental, is worthy of being considered one of his world titles. It's a joke.
Okay. Do you know
so how about the fact? Can I get one thing with this?
Yeah, go for it.
How about what's it called? Being that Cena is a guy that wants to help everyone and want to elevate a company, elevate everyone, wouldn't it elevate NXT if he goes there and he goes for that belt? People go and watch it like, why is this man going for that belt? So that will give elevation to the era instead of just being another champion to be, I beat the record. Beat the record, but elevate
this is
someone else as
about
well.
because this is about beating the record. You quoted at the top of his show, at the top of this very show, his recent press conference in the Rumble. That whole thing was framed by Cena about this is for me. I have earned some time for me. He framed that himself. This is my time. This is the one I want. This isn't about other people. This isn't about raising. This is me.
Okay.
I've earned this.
So here we go. Here we go.
Sorry. Yes, earn this.
Just a quick capsule. I was going to list out the 4 people and say let's break it down. So the last name being Joe Hendry. Now, with this, we will go into the discussion of the situations. Now, listening to it, let's stick with Obafemi right now, or whoever chooses to be, or whoever happens to be NXT champion at the time of Mania or beyond. He doesn't have to win a title at Mania. He doesn't. Let's put that out there. You know, it's just by the end of this year, 2025.
I want him to win in December. Carry on.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I agree with that.
That would be a good one. That. Look, here's the thing. But then going into the argument of just being devil's advocate before we move into the Joe Hendry, because of the benefits of it, I would agree with Den on the side of, look at what Charlotte done with Rhea. That was probably one of the better matches of the lockdown Mania.
Yeah. Agreed.
The only thing is, I recommend anyone who wants to go back and watch that match, please make sure you don't watch it in the middle of the night with the volume up, because it will sound like you're watching something else. However,
there was no crowd noises.
Especially when Rhea drops the B-bomb after getting slapped on the tush. That was all sorts of like, wow, okay. Wow.
It's such an awesome match. But I remember being in lockdown and like, because my granddad was ill, me and my parents moved into this pretty much like studio apartment. I'm in a corner watching this thing and I'm like, volume down, because this does not sound like WrestleMania.
Putting the volume down also makes you seem more sus, to be honest.
More suspect, right? That is
On his phone, volume down, it's in the corner. Yo,
it's like the little
AJ.
kid who's 8 years old watching Cinemark porn.
I'm enjoying a match. Yeah, exactly.
And then as you look at the screen and you see 2 half-naked females on screen.
Literally. Right panties throwback.
There's no defense to it. But here we go. So I agree with that. But then on the other side, I also appreciate what you're saying, Nick. Is that the way you go into the legacy of it? But then the argument sticks, well, kind of transitioning. But then what does the TNA title do for him in that respect? However, where I go in the middle ground, an NXT title would be the only WWE title John Cena has not held. And that is an interesting factor behind it. So he not only elevates...
though. I mean, for me, it's not. For me, it's not interesting at all.
It's one of those things of, again, being Cena. There is always... yes, he has the right to be selfish. Yes, he can be selfish. Is he ever going to be that? He's always going to be the company guy. He turned up at NXT when they went to war with AEW. Him, Taker, and whoever else. It was like, what the hell is this episode of NXT? As a final staple, to say I've done it all, because he started post-developmental. To say I have done it all on the Cena tick box, what is it to say I've done that too? Charlotte went back. And Charlotte is, as in your words, the greatest.
You've got to stop comparing Charlotte in peak of her career to Cena in his last hurrah. It's not a fair comparison.
It's not a fair comparison, but it's also what you're doing for the title and the brand. Now, in that whole thing of Cena, he's done it all.
I love this energy. Now shift your lens slightly.
No, but I'm just saying, I've done it all.
You're saying all the right thing, but for me, you're associating it with the wrong brand. You're absolutely right. What is WWE's biggest new plaything?
Well,
don't say it. It's not WWE. It still belongs to their own company.
It's their new plaything. I didn't say they own it. I said it's their new plaything. It's their own forbidden door. It's their... Really? Okay.
Really?
I'd love to see you back that up, but we'll get on to that in a moment. It's their new big collaboration. It's Big Papa H, rightfully, I think, showing that, hey, we can actually play with others. And to that degree, they've done it pretty successfully so far. The TNA World Champion appearing at the Royal Rumble. Who knew that would happen? I mean, we all kind of hoped, but it happened.
We all knew.
We all hoped.
After last year, last year was a shock. This year was an inevitable.
Well, last 2 years, we've had Mickie James and Jordan Grace coming out. There's a huge...
Mickey,
Say what you
Mickey
will,
doesn't
there's
count,
a
so-
massive disparity between women's wrestling and men's wrestling still. Love it or hate it, I don't like the fact that it's like that, but the disparity exists.
Wish you would come to the show we're going to tonight. You'd have seen it's different. Anyway.
The indie show the indie show. So this is perfect fodder for my point here. A women's indie show, which I have absolutely no doubt is freaking incredible. The Fed heads are not going to be aware of that. The recurring thing that we always talk about is that the Fed heads are not aware of the existence of wrestling outside of their world. Enter TNA. That pop Joe Hendry got was impressive. That kind of made me think, ooh, some barriers are being broken down here. These Muppets actually know of a wrestling existence outside of their 3 letters. Now, if you want to talk about John Cena doing business for business sake, there's so much more stock in him fighting one of the most over guys in wrestling, which makes it not only a marquee match, but now you're validating this somewhat rival, somewhat shiny new plaything and putting it in a big title picture. It doesn't have to be main event, but it's main title picture. What's historical in all this is that play the tape back on this recording. AJ, you yourself said even a few moments ago, you didn't even call it the NXT World Championship. You called it the NXT Championship. And I think, yeah, it's not a World Championship. I completely agree with that.
TNA World Championship. Just say the word world. Add a world to it. Doesn't make a difference.
Of course it does.
But here's the thing.
Of course it does. It's perception.
Pre-Raw and SmackDown, I would have said the WWE title.
Same here.
World Heavyweight
I still call it
Championship,
WWE title.
Universal Championship.
I don't. There's one title in all of this that I don't think of as a big championship, and it's actually and it's WWE's second title.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you.
Which is the one I actually think less of than the NXT title, than TNA title. So it's all, as I said, perception. And it's got the name world in it.
That's an interesting take. I'll give you.
But it is an interesting take. I actually understand the argument behind that. To be honest,
I'll go with this again with TNA. Being TNA, the only reason why I would love to see Cena there is because Cena has only been a one company man. He hasn't been around the scene. So I just love to see him. I don't want him to win. And I don't care if it's against Joe Hendry. I'm happy to be against Joe Hendry because the hype is there. But really, I just want to see because what you said, WWE's new plaything, you could call it. They're not sending anyone that side. I would like someone big to go that side. And let it be Cena. The same argument I have for NXT, the same argument I have for TNA. It raised TNA stock because not a lot of people watch that.
Dan? Wait, let me ask you a question. Who's the current TNA champion? Sorry, not TNA champion. Who's the current NXT champion? AJ remains silent.
I do not know, and I do not know. I only know the TNA champion because I found out on Royal Rumble when I was with y'all. I don't know these things. I don't watch outside of the bubble.
Bingo. So within that bubble, no, wait. This is the point.
No. He's doing his lawyer thing. Go ahead.
I mean, go for it.
It's not so much a lawyer thing. It's just I'm curious to see where your passion for defending a product you don't watch comes from.
Because it's a product I used to watch a lot, and it's a product that's still owned and managed by WWE. TNA, as much as you want to say plaything, is not a WWE product. So putting that guy over there,
of course not. It's a TNA.
He ain't winning. He's not winning, and he should never, ever win it over there. And what you're talking about, him getting his 17th, that should be 17th, not in another company. He should go over there just to elevate that company and put more eyes on it. Only thing I know about TNA now is that Joe Hendry is champion, and that's because I watched WWE Raw. WWE Raw. If I didn't watch that product, I would not have known.
Weird how they put the other company's champion in their Rumble, but not their own champion in their Rumble.
Well, here's the thing, though. We had Julia turn up in the women's Rumble.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
not the men, right?
We all knew the hype behind Joe Hendry. I was expecting him to be 1 or 2 because I thought he would get the full entrance. To be honest,
me too.
My
expectation. It was him or Jay. I thought would be 1.
Yeah. Well, Jay got it last year to be back-to-back number 1s would be that.
But his new Firefly Yeet. I was surprised we didn't get that.
Yeah, so that was my thing. But here's the prediction that came to me after your text of does Cena go for Hendry? Now I'll say it now. What do you think of Joe Hendry versus Jey Uso? We'll mill on that later on. But here's the thing. Going back to something that you said, Den, because it's something I thought of. Cena has always been for the company. Does he want to leave? And I say leave in air brackets. Does he want to leave WWE for his final stage? But then the other side of that, which I think is quite a negative, should Cena go on for it, and we're talking claiming that 17th, which he's earned / deserves. Here comes the question. What does that actually do for TNA? I don't think it's a positive, because Cena's got a limited amount of dates, right? Now, your December argument, which I hadn't thought of when I had this argument in place, is interesting because it could be a quick thing. There isn't a money in the bank or anything for someone to cash in on in TNA, to my knowledge. I don't want Cena to do a Brock Lesnar to TNA while you've got your hottest champ at the moment, right? You pull away that steam. It's a great match. It's an awesome marquee match, right? Like one of the most viral superstars, according to Cole or whoever else you want to be. I feel like it dropped a bit from the charting area, but, you know, it's still there. The Hendry Mania is still live. Rumble showed it. What does it do to TNA?
Last night showed it if you watched it at TNA. Woo!
Good on it. Look, every time
Woo!
Joe gets so deserved.
That guy, man.
I will never, ever take it away from him. But I'm talking, I mean, and I say this with respect, the crowd sizes will show you what we're talking about when we're talking about the buzz he gets, right? What happens if John Cena wins this title and he does a Lesnar? He wins the title, he barely shows up because Cena's only got a limited amount of dates left. Is that a good thing for TNA that you've not only lost your highest buzzing champion in a very long time, you've lost a champion essentially, because he's not going to dedicate more dates to TNA than he would WWE. Now that's a negative for me.
To quote my friend below, being the company man that he is, and given that TNA is not the plaything according to him, if we're going down that logic, so what? It's great for WWE. Who cares about TNA if that's the logic?
No,
I mean, look, Kenny done it.
No, TNA should always think. TNA needs to think about TNA. They're working together, great. But at the same time, no matter what, look, everything I see coming over from TNA to WWE, which has only been the Rumble, they lose. But the thing is, they get put out by someone, one of the biggest champs. Like Joe Hendry, I think, got eliminated by Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So
he
like,
didn't get the best show.
Yeah,
I'll give it that.
No, but he got eliminated by one of their top stars. So just like Jordan Grayson last year got eliminated by the one with the hair, can't remember her name, but Bianca. So it has to be a top star. So I'll get that. Great, and everyone can't win the Rumble. Having Cena, the top marquee for WWE for so long, if he goes over and beat the TNA top star, it's bad for TNA. I don't care who it is that beats them. Brock Lesnar could go over and win. It's still bad for TNA because unless that guy's going to be a TNA star after that, no. So he can't win. But I'd love to see the match. I'd love to see Joe Hendry because Joe Hendry's character and John Cena's toy character would be great against each other. And the pop and the feel would be great.
The showpiece would be great. If we don't go down the logic of he only holds it for a New York minute and it's maybe a month or two that he represents, this is in the scope of he wins the TNA title. Why is it bad for TNA having someone like John Cena associated with you for a month or two?
Because for a month or two, that's all you get.
So
and it looks, and it also perception is also bad. Oh, you're not working with WWE. WWE is using whatever they want from you.
Do we really think it's different?
I don't think it'd be a bad thing.
No, but you don't want that. As a company, you don't want that. You don't want your company to be, well, I have to bow down to this larger monstrosity because if I don't,
I think if you told Anthem Entertainment that for the course of 2 or 3 pay-per-views they could have John Cena in their main event, they'd bite your hand off, mate.
But this is the thing. Here's the thing. This is where my argument stands. Would it be awesome? Yes, to be the only other company to say you've had John Cena as a champ. I mean, look. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The NXT TNA relationship is a lot better than the AEW Impact relationship. 100% over.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, with that, we have seen Kenny hold the Impact title and do whatever he want and treated him like horse crap. Right?
Christian then got it and did a good number for them. To be fair.
I knew he won it, but I wasn't sure what happened and how long.
No, Christian did well. He's Christian. He always does good. But he did a solid 4-month job for them.
I still think TNA when I think of Christian Cage.
I mean, there you go. That's a good thing. That is awesome. But it's with a man who's only got a limited amount of dates in the Cena scope of what he's done. He done Raw, the first Raw, and the Rumble. So there isn't a lot in there in this 2 to 3 months that we're claiming in this schedule for this year.
You're talking 2 to 3 pay-per-views. I'm not saying he appears on a weekly basis for Impact.
Would he dedicate it to Bound for Glory, Genesis, and whatever else there was going? I know Genesis is already gone.
Slammiversary.
Victory Road, Slammiversary, right? Let's take those 3. Does he do that over Survivor Series? Okay, no, it's stupid. He wouldn't do that. But over any WWE appearance?
But it's a really good question. And the reason I'm going to say, this is a very hypothetical, maybe. I mean, maybe it's a hypothetical anyway, but this is a hypothetical of a hypothetical. It's, if you think about the age Cena's at and what he can put his body through. See, I've seen a lot of people online saying, he'll lose at the Elimination Chamber. He'll have maybe a match against Logan Paul at Mania. And which I hate, because I hate the idea of that being his last match at Mania. But that aside, then they see him maybe going for the Money in the Bank and winning that. And I'm like, guys, slow down. The guy's in his 50s. I don't see Cena, who's never been the most agile guy, doing a ladder match where, if you look at how WWE book their ladder matches, which is brilliant, the last few Money in the Banks have really left a mark on the wrestlers. Like, those matches go hard. I can't see Cena in one of those matches. And then you think about the Survivor Series matches, the War Games. Again, quite hardcore. Those are the sort of things I can't see Cena doing for the scope of what he can put his body through, which by his own admission is gas tank running on empty. And I'm sure it's a work, but he's in his 50s. There's definitely an element of truth to that. I think it would be far easier for him to manage a TNA scheduling than it would be with the marquee WWE matches you've got coming up that would lead him to a world title. That would be my counter to that. Again, mega hypothetical.
But here's the question, just one question. I think we might be.
Go ahead.
So let's say we've got Victory Road, Slammiversary, Bound for Glory. Why can't it be Takeover, Stand and Deliver, and another NXT pay-per-view with same level of presence and pushing? Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So where you're saying he shouldn't do it for NXT, but should do it for TNA? Where does
because I see TNA as a valid brand and NXT as a developmental brand, and I don't want the guy who I see as being one of the greatest ever to be, with respect to all the to NXT guys, wasting his time on developmental. Great for the guys in developmental, fantastic for the NXT brand. Zero argument for me there. I'm being very selfish and thinking about Cena and what Cena wants for his 17th. Developmental feels ridiculous to me.
I'm thinking about this when it comes to Cena and WWE. Do you want your greatest champion at the time to be around, and for the final year for everyone just to look at another company? Or do you want to look at your company? Hence why I don't see him winning the TNA. As I keep repeating, I want TNA. I want WWE. I want Cena to have a match in TNA because he's only been in one company. You can be the greatest in one company, but to move around and still be up there is amazing.
Correct. Because the whole Ric Flair won 16 world titles. Those weren't 16 world titles in WWE.
Yeah, but also,
exactly. It was 24, exactly. But
also
WWE law is 16.
Yeah, but also, if they're working with TNA, WWE is working with TNA, this is someone they can share. They can share. If they share a lower card, it feels like they're not really just putting someone who no one cares about, no one watches, no one knows on WWE over to TNA. To people, but if you put a Cena go over, imagine Joe Entry just went, I'm going to call someone out, and you hear Cena music hit in the Impact Zone. The media, the wrestling fans would go nuts.
Exactly.
And eyes would go on TNA, and that would level up TNA. He doesn't have to win. He doesn't have to win, but it will level up TNA, and that would make more of a partnership than being this people working with that people. It would be more closer. And that's the reason why I want Cena versus Joe Entry. That's
Yeah.
my main reason.
I love everything about that booking. I have no issue with that. I can see him holding the TNA gold, and I can also see everything you've just pitched working beautifully. I think you could even have a story where Cena, over the course of this calendar year, has a world title match with Cody, loses, with Gunther, loses, with Joe Hendry, loses. Like, you could really have him going on this heartbreak journey. Like, there's so much interesting stuff you can do. I maintain, keep him the F away from NXT. Because if what they're going to do is make him go, Cody, lose, Gunther, lose, TNA, lose, NXT, hey, I won. Is that...
No. NXT lose. And then that also shows he's trying for everything, and losing. No, let him go NXT. Let him go Cody. Let him go Gunther. Let him go NXT. Then let him go over to
I would say work
TNA. No. Let him any way you want to work, but let him be at all three in WWE. And then everyone going, oh, he's tried for all the belts and he couldn't make it. And then he shows up on TNA. And you're like, oh my God, this guy's going for any and everything.
That was what I was going to make as a closer, and you brought it up because I was thinking it's an awesome idea. I think the idea of Cena challenging for all of them, but ultimately, let's put it this way: ultimately, let's say he does do the title tour, which one should be the title he should walk away with as the number 17?
It depends who's champion. It depends who's champion at the time. In a realistic world, I agree with Dan. It should be the one that Cody holds.
WWE.
But bringing it back to what we said in the first 2 minutes of this video pod, if he's the company man, you can't really dethrone the best baby face in a decade for the sake of the victory tour, which tells me Cody's got to drop sooner rather than later.
My way for
not to Mania. He ain't dropping at Mania. Certainly not to freaking Jey Uso.
Do you want to hear how Cena wins? As I said, December. Let him try, loses everything, and then let whoever the champion is be a babyface. Say it's Cody still, and Cody's like, I respect Cena. I want to give him one more shot before he finishes. Give him one more shot, and on that one more shot, that's when he loses, and Cena retires with the championship, puts it up, and then there's a tournament for it again to get the title back.
But
I don't see that. I actually like that booking, but
it's a nice idea. We've had it with Trish retiring, putting the title on the line. But at what cost does that go to Cody? I'm in the run of a lifetime.
No cost. I don't see a thing from that, because it could be Cody being, you'd be like, Cody shouldn't have to give him a chance, and Cena could just pull it out the bag, or let Cena win with some, he's not here, nefarious means. Not that Cena does it, but someone's going up against Cody. Fuck it. Sorry. Let CM Punk have the championship. Give him this freaking title, and let Cena versus Punk again, and then let someone that don't like Punk go and cost Punk the match, and then there you go. Cena gets a title. He didn't see what happened. He's not looking for like a chair shot and then go capitalize on it. Cena want to be honorable, but still wins. And it's Cena versus Punk again, because Punk would love that. And Cena would just get the championship again. And it takes the belt off of everyone and start over again. Make that year's Rumble be for the title.
Can I remind everyone this is also the first year that SummerSlam is a 2-night event? I can very easily see Punk Cena at SummerSlam.
For gold or without gold?
For gold.
For gold.
I can see that.
So we're talking. I know we're getting into prediction shows.
Oh yeah, that's all you can do. That's why the wrestling fan gets disappointed so easily.
You see Punk dethroning Cody this Mania.
I don't know. It depends how they book the Elimination Chamber. But can I see it? Yes. Would that be my prediction for Mania? At this point, I have no idea. It depends how they play the Elimination Chamber. And I'll tell you what I could. Big Tone's going to bite my head off for saying this, because I said you're not going to see Sami Zayn hold a world title this year. Every year I say a prediction. Sami Zayn should win the Money in the Bank. I could see KO beating Cena for the title around Survivor Series time, and then Sami cashing in on KO as a suck on that, you package pile driver. You know if you watch Raw.
I've seen the clip.
KO Cena was actually a match that I thought of when we was talking around that Survivor Series time, because the first time those two went to town was a match, and coincidentally, KO was the NXT champion. And
that's when NXT was a third brand, because as everyone would put it, is not
When
developmental
when
because
Yeah.
it was strictly its own thing. It was its own brand before someone came in and made 2.0 and they have to start over. So they're starting over again. That's
Yeah.
when I actually started watching wrestling because of NXT. Watching wrestling again, I should say, because NXT was so good.
NXT Gold, Black and Gold was amazing.
That was
Yeah, and I didn't care about them going up to the company. So my thing was, it wasn't a case of watching NXT and going, I want to see what they do in the other company. That was its own company at the time.
Of course it
I
was.
knew
But
the
as you
old
said at
man
the top,
didn't
it's
care.
changed.
The old man didn't care about the people, which why I said it's changed. It's changed in a good way because the characters that's coming from NXT are keeping their name, changing a good way to the
Name
transition. The
But
transition.
they're all keeping their
So
name.
they
You can't argue with that.
No, they
Oh,
weren't.
you mean actually keeping their name, or do you mean
Well, listen,
actually keeping the character, the name and character that's ever had in
you mean
NXT?
status? Are you talking status?
no.
Status.
Under
Name.
VKM, you were
Yeah.
Walter to Gunter. Now Lyra Valkyria is still Lyra Valkyria.
You literally change everything about your
that's
character.
the measuring stick, sure. Okay.
No, not just the name, your
Kind of weak
entire
praise,
character.
okay.
So you had your entire character, you built up in NXT, you build a loyal fan base, you come over to WWE, you're some new, brand new, as if he treats it as if you've never seen this person before, and it just ruined it. So yeah, but now they're keeping everything with them, so they're carrying the
And how's that working for the recent call-ups?
I don't watch that much of the product of any of the products, so I
So
do not
this
know.
comes back to my confusion. Why I was questioning why you so passionate about repping for NXT when I can tell
because
you the
it's
recent
owned by
call-ups haven't done
WWE.
well.
Okay, but hold on.
Because it's owned by WWE. That's why.
If we are going to talk recent call-ups, are you pissed with where Pretty Deadly are at the moment?
Where are Pretty Deadly at the moment?
Pretty much in the contendership for the tag titles. Follow that up with the current tag champs being DIY.
Listen, I think we can both agree that the Johnny Gargano we're seeing on the main roster is not Johnny Wrestling. Surely we're not going to disagree with that.
Okay, but I'm saying...
Likewise, Tommaso Ciampa. You're not going to tell me that beast, that bloody Triple H 2.0 on NXT is the same guy we're seeing now.
The Goldie Ciampa is long gone. I'm aware of that.
There you go. This is
I'll
the
agree
points
with.
I'm making.
Like,
and Johnny and I don't think... I do wonder if any of the current WWE fans watched NXT Black and Gold, because what Gargano and Adam Cole used to do on Black and Gold was beautiful. That was art, what those guys did. And I have not seen that Johnny Gargano on the main roster. I just haven't.
Can I make something clear? There's a reason why I'm repping for Cena to go for NXT and why I'm so determined for NXT than TNA. NXT falls under the umbrella of WWE. It's owned by WWE. That's why I'm saying that, because Cena could win that, could elevate the company, could bring eyes back onto the product, could make you go, I don't really watch NXT, but I want to see why they put the belt on Cena. I want to see who goes up again. And then you get to watching it again.
Question.
That's my reason for that. TNA is because TNA is a separate company. That's why.
Question with that argument, as a man who was Mr. Black and Gold and it was my comeback party, would it make you tune back into NXT?
Once again, I don't watch wrestling because of time. No, it's strictly because of time. There's too much. When I was watching it then, and plus I'm watching my NXT right now. I'm watching Black and Gold still on Raw. When I watch Royal Rumble, I'm watching NXT. I'm seeing KO. I'm seeing Sammy. I'm seeing all of my Black and Gold people. I'm seeing us in big friggin' neck Seth Rollins. All them lot were all Black and Gold, and they came over to the main roster and kept it going. So
this is actually fantastic what you've just said. KO, Sammy, Rollins, their product of NXT when it was a third brand, as you said, and are being treated seriously. Guys that VKM brought up and are being treated seriously. It's funny how what I'm preaching is that they're not treated seriously anymore during their call-ups, which is why I don't want Cena being associated with a group of wrestlers who, for the short to medium term, won't be treated seriously. Some of them never will be. I don't know if you guys are realizing you're kind of reinforcing the point I'm making.
You're kind of missing what I'm talking about. We're talking about Cena's... sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so in the argument of call-ups, okay, whether you want to say where is he now or not, Damian Priest is an NXT call-up. Walter is an NXT call-up. Ludwig Kaiser...
VKM.
So who's a Triple H call-up? These are all Triple H hires.
Gargano, Ciampa, Pretty Deadly. Solo Sikoa is not on TV anymore. Do you know who they did right by? Jacob. And I believe he went straight to main roster.
Yeah, he did. He didn't do NXT.
This is why I'm making the point. You can present a new guy without having to go through your system and make him a fan favorite and come off as a monster.
This much people have done that with now. Everyone else, well, not everyone else, majority of people pass through that system. It's a rare few that goes straight in.
Oh, 100%. And therein lies a bigger conversation about the problem with NXT, which AJ and I have been discussing on pod for, 5 years now. Matt Riddle never really came to fruition. Shayna Baszler, they flopped. Matt Riddle's lucky he got associated with Randy when he was in a good mood. Otherwise, Matt Riddle would have disappeared into nothingness. Matt Riddle would have gone into nothingness. Shayna Baszler got wrecked. Io Sky, we had to wait a good 18 months to see the best of, and even then we haven't seen the best. Dakota Kai's been jobbed. Jesus,
we're going totally off subject. The subject, my main discussion part is, where does Cena wrestle in NXT, wrestle for a title, and what title it is? And then when AJ mentioned everyone and NXT got mentioned, then it changed. That's not the main part of this conversation.
We've done two. We've done 2 out of 4, I'd say. My next question would be, Gunther. Is there a positive in that?
Does Gunther hold? Does Gunther
It's the
hold?
title. It's a title that Gunther's holding that I don't care about. I didn't even know until was it Saturday night that Gunther was that champion. I think of Gunther, I think of Intercontinental title, which he's meant to have been elevated up to a new title, to a higher title. I don't feel it.
Do you know what's really interesting about what you're saying, Dan? There's something AJ said about 9 months ago. I think it was pre-Mania. So yeah, more than 9 months ago. It was when I was kind of saying what you're saying now, Dan, which is, this is a B belt. It's ridiculous. I can't take it seriously. And AJ, you said something which at the time I thought made a lot of sense, but I'd never bought into, which was, the moment Roman drops, that belt ceases to become a B belt because it's not the belt that Roman had taken away from him. It hasn't ceased to be the B belt. The biggest damage they did with that belt was done 15 months ago. It was making it. Since its inception, it's been a joke. This is years of rehabilitation that champion needs. Den is living proof of what I'm saying. The fact that a guy as legitimate as Gunther went from did what you could say in modern wrestling terms is kind of the perfect run. Tore it up on developmental, came onto the main roster, became the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. I still maintain he shouldn't have lost when he did. But then from that, became king of the ring and then became world heavyweight champion. Like, if you look at the chronology of Gunther, that's a pretty perfect run. And yet, despite that and the validity that he brings to the table, there's fans like Dan and myself who are still looking at this belt going, B belt. Despite being on the premiere show, B belt.
I agree. I will agree. I think what doesn't help, 2 things haven't helped. 1, he lost to Cody in champ versus champ. And 2, Cody was the guy to take the title and it became something else. We needed a few more marquee champs. But here's the thing. If you want to elevate the B belt, here we go. Because we're talking about which title he should take. Cena taking the B belt, does that elevate it? Or are we saying Cena's demoted in taking it?
No. Yes. Do you know what happened? Do you know what
happened?
happened?
Already, he should go for Cody's belt. We all agreed on that. It's the B belt.
That belt, that was again. You know, they merged the SmackDown and Raw belt to create the belt that Cody's got right now, right? Mm-hmm. Separate those 2 belts, and there you go. They create this belt because no one could beat Roman, so they just made a belt going, if we can't beat him for a title, we're going to give someone a title. So the
branding behind it was terrible. The branding behind it was terrible.
One of the worst things Triple H Booker of the Year has ever done.
The craziest part is they did this before, but it didn't feel that bad because they took an established belt. Do you remember when they had the world champion, the undisputed champion, going on both brands, and then Stephanie McMahon kept Brock Lesnar on SmackDown, so they brought back the world heavyweight champion and gave it to Triple H. Do you know why that didn't feel bad? Because that belt was established already as a big championship. Everyone just felt stupid at the fact that they just gave it away, but it was already established. The title was established, and then they then it went on from there. This was a new invention and just went, here you go, let's go. And I'm like, no,
it's the same belt. It's the same belt apart from the big W in the middle.
it's not the same belt because that belt got joined with the WWE belt, and that's part of Cody's belt. I don't care what they say. That's part of Cody's belt.
It's not though, because basically to get Roman's unified belt, they joined the SmackDown World Champion and the Raw World Champion. By the way, Roman looked fantastic when he was walking out with both belts. It sent the message home of two.
When he had all three,
when he got the gold and had all three, yeah, fantastic. And then 1 week to the next, he went from 3 down to 1, and then they unveiled the new belt. Why? Because merchandising. And I'm like, guys, I get that you've got to sell merch, I get it, but you've also got to commit to your freaking stories here. You've just made this guy Grand Chief Galaxy Master of the Universe. You've got to let that breathe a while before 1 week to the next you go, you see how you got 3 belts? Now you have 1. That whole presentation looked weak ass. And it's and they made this new belt, which is why I say it wasn't Cody's belt. It was literally a new belt. And it's never, ever, despite Seth, fan favorite Damian Priest, and legitimate wrestler Gunther all holding it, you've still got guys like me and Den saying, this is a B belt.
But here's the thing. And I genuinely ask this question. If you had a 6-month Cena run with that title, or a 6-month CM Punk run with that title, we all know there's always going to be a secondary.
You just named 2 people I don't really care about.
Yeah, Den's not the target demo for that question.
It's not the target demo, but it's a question to both of you. But what I'm talking about is elevation of that title, recognition. There's always going to be a second champ. Eddie felt like a second champ. In fact, no, Eddie elevated the SmackDown title to be bigger than the Raw title.
I see where you're going, AJ. Can I tell you what I think doesn't even rehabilitate, because it's never been habilitated? What habilitates this belt?
Establish it, yeah.
No, it's nothing
Give it to
do
Roman.
with it. No, not even that.
Let Roman collect again.
Roman's now holding the B belt.
I'm messing. No, let Roman collect everything again.
I mean, that would be jokes, to be fair. Just him alone, no bloodline nonsense. The thing. Oh, hello. Am I still here? Where has my camera gone?
You're just an image.
You never look so good. My God, how can Nico look that good?
Start cam. Why are you not working?
Apologies for those who are photo sensitive.
The
message is brought to you in
guys,
part by
I'm gonna reset and come back in.
Okay,
cool.
Nico was right in the middle of a very big statement there, but
it's so big that the camera didn't want him.
Technology be technology. That's just the way life is sometimes.
It's mad, but yeah, for real though, 2 things. One, NXT, for me, in my eyes, remember it was NXT versus AEW, and at that point it was AEW and NXT, right?
Yeah.
So TNA got put down to the other part in perception. When I was watching TNA was up there with WWE. So now it's just a different world. Like not the other day, we were doing our best things, and Nico mentioned the system, and I didn't even know who they were, which is really terrible. Hence why I want Cena to go over there, bring some WWE eyes over to TNA, and to see what's going on in that. If you're working with the other people, work with them. Don't just, it's Royal Rumble. Use the champion.
Of the system, I have to say, it's funny. I watched that video back recently too. In the scope of the same video, Big Tone is standing on a hill saying what validates people is holding belts, which is when you threw the Great Khali argument to shut him down, AJ. And in that same show, he's not recognizing the stable that held the most gold for longest throughout the year. I was like, the hypocrisy. Anyway, that aside, what rehabilitates or habilitates the B belt? The wonderful world of fickle wrestling fans, myself included. Time is the wonderful. It's not even the healer. Time makes you forget in the wrestling world. It's time erases everything. I think all that belt needs is a lot of time. At this point, Punk's holding the B belt. Cena's holding the B belt. Oh, Cody's now holding the B belt. Oh, Damien's holding the B belt again. Roman's holding the B belt. It is the B belt. It needs years. It was honestly such an F up of momentous proportions. It's one of the very few wrestling faux pas that really isn't being healed by the tried and tested 3-month forget period.
But here's the thing. That introduction of the world title, I know you see it as a different title then, but that introduction of the world title has never been right. Because the first time they brought it, when they joined it and they just gave it to Triple H, everyone was like, why just give it? Why not a tournament?
Mhm.
This time they're like, let's do a tournament, but it's the way it's worded. It's not like, because all you needed was Roman to be like, remember I got drafted to SmackDown. I don't need Raw. I destroyed your biggest beast. I'm staying there. Now they're like, well, we're not going to have a show without a champion. Bang, title tournament. But they're like, we need a fighting champion. Like the way it was worded was
there
like,
you go.
You what?
There you go.
You what?
The reason I get this, the reason why, like when Brock refused to come to Raw, you're like, oh crap, we need something over here. So that's what made a little bit of sense on that part. They've also done this before already when they made the Universal title. That first time they brought out that red belt, everyone was like, what on earth is that crap? So that they had a belt that came out and everyone shouted it. And then it took, as Nico said, time for people to get used to it and get on board. Surprisingly, what brought that together was
Roman.
A dominant champion. Roman Reigns got the belt and started to dominate. And then people cared more about the person than the title, but he had the title as well. And then that just went on with it. And then
the Universal title was the joke, but then it became the title everyone wanted to talk about. That the name, Daniel Bryan was the best ripping it on talking.
I'm waiting for the Galaxy champion. No, Universal is bigger than is bigger than the Galaxy. So yeah, the multiverse champion.
Multiverse champion.
Hey, we're going to saying that we're going to a multiverse rumble tonight. We're going to a multiverse rumble tonight. But
we are.
But in like bringing it back, looking at the potential characters, because we've looked at them. Okay, we said it doesn't benefit, and it may not be Gunther, Cody being a thing, and what have you. Here comes a bigger question. And deserve, we want to see yes. Does Cena, in his twilight years, becoming a 17 champion benefit any company?
Yeah, it does.
Of course it does.
It does.
What I'm saying is the follow-up.
I'll give you my reasons. It's never a follow-up. The second he wins it, it benefits eyes. Yeah. Eyes on product.
I get the eyes, but there's people the longevity behind it. The same way we talk about how it doesn't help TNA because he doesn't.
There are kids right now. There are kids right now that grew up with John Cena. That's been their champion for years. They're grown people now. Some of them have stopped watching wrestling because Cena's not there. They're coming in and out now because they heard their guy is his last time. WWE WrestleMania. I bet you a large portion of the fans that's going there is because of Cena's last WrestleMania. They're literally going there to see their people. They're not really they're interesting, but whatever. Him winning is going to get eyes on him the next night to see, oh my God, I want to see Cena hold that title up again and run to the ring. They want to see him wear that shirt with the belt on it. They want to see him come up with a new shirt saying 17 or something like that. Or all the colors, or patchwork, whatever it is.
Never give up 17. Beautiful. Sold.
Yep.
Sold.
Never give up. I made it. Something like that. Just something to end Cena's run with.
I never gave up.
Yeah.
There's the shirt. Oh!
Something.
I'm buying it. Give it to me.
Just a giant number 17 on the back.
I never gave up. Has to see him do the title tour. He has to do that. For that, I never gave up to really hone in. He needs to do the title tour, go to each
go around to everyone. Listen, literally, as I said, WWE
if you
fans.
See that T-shirt? I'm suing the fuck out of Triple H.
Can't sue. You just gave it away. Anyway, what's it called?
Copyright it now. Copyright it now.
Send a letter to yourself with a pattern in there. Anyway, so what's it called again? Go with this. Cena going around, as I said, the championship run. Him going everywhere and losing everything to the point of you start to see that touch of like, you know, that thing we used to do. Is Cena going to be heel? Don't do it. But that little, oh my God, he's so desperate, he might even go heel on it and then have someone give him a job because he deserves it. And he actually says the word, I deserve it. and he gets it. And he gets that match and he wins. I know I saw that right way. And he wins. Can you imagine the next day on Raw? What people is Raw the one where it's what's his name? Cody.
Gunter / Jay. Cody's currently on
Okay, there's gonna be a what's it what they call it again when they swap over his position. There's gonna be another draft.
transfer window.
Put him on Raw. Put Cody on Raw. Let Cena win the title. Cena come on next night on Raw. Thank everyone. Lay the belt on the floor. Lay his armbands on his shirt and walk out. Just that night,
Who does that? Who?
and then
Okay.
gets announced for Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna play.
But,
I'm gonna play the AEW game when I say this because most of us went down the route of Sting loses because that's what you do. Now that was the tag title. What happened? Darby just dropped the title, right? Or did he find a new partner?
No, they dropped.
They dropped the
dropped the
title,
title.
right? Is that what is? Who deserves to lose their title in whether it be Gunter's run of a lifetime, Cody's run of a lifetime, Joe Hendry's spotlight moment? Let's work with the current champs. Who deserves to lose that momentum for Cena to be able to be like never gave up?
Cody
This is
can
what I'm talking
handle it.
about. When I talk about,
Cody
we talk
can
about
handle it.
company benefit, fair enough.
Both Cody and Gunther can handle it. To be
They
fair,
can handle it.
both
To
of
be
the
honest,
current champions are bulletproof.
Can
Okay,
handle
I
it.
get that. But in the same breath of where we talk about whoever got screwed in the Roman vortex, like a lot of bodies fell that time, and okay, whichever way you feel about.
I mean, Edge got screwed in the Roman vortex. Wow.
Everyone's forgetting about that Cena vortex they had at one point. It made me
Cena
stop watching wrestling.
The Cena vortex could potentially be the worst, apart from
Jericho
Triple H.
vortex.
It's between him and Triple H
Or
were really close.
Triple H was the golden shovel, wasn't he? He was.
Oh my god.
What he did to Big Papa Pump, I
plati-
will never forgive that.
The platinum shovel. he elevated. He elevated the shovel.
Yeah, there's
So yeah, it's between them lot that they just kept winning and winning and winning, and the crowd
But
didn't
you
want
see,
it to win anymore.
here's the thing: in the scope of a discussion, we can all be quite open and be like, "Well, it's Cena. This happens to happen." But as a stage of it, and it happens, do you not see a kickback? The same way people are like, even though Jay's red hot right now, Jay winning the Rumble
Until
has a
the bell
kickback.
rings.
But do you
Okay.
see the kickback that happens with Jay? Will that not happen with whoever Cena dethrones at this current moment? Because everyone's in their prime, everyone's at their thing. Be real with it all.
I
Be real
am.
with it.
It's a
I'm being
nostalgia
really-
act, and it's
Bro,
very
listen-
powerful.
Listen, look at when The Rock, who can bring all the numbers in under the sun, beat CM Punk.
Oh, but that guy's a great.
Can
My
you
mind has
do it
changed.
again?
At
I'd
that
like
time,
to do it
at that
again.
time, yeah, it's different. But right now, great.
Can we
But this
go
is what I'm
Rock
saying.
Punk and Rock
We're
beats Punk
talking
again?
with a
That would be
passion for Cena
awesome.
and appreciation for Cena, which
There's a difference there. There's a difference. One person thinks they deserve it, and one person wants the opportunity.
Earned it.
One person earn it. One person earn it because as much as you think The Rock earned what he did, The Rock came in as somewhat as a third generation superstar. He
Listen,
was
Rock-
put together. He was put with a team of actual good wrestlers and people that could mold him into where he was. Yep. Then he had one of the best playmates to go with at the time. Him and Stone Cold was a great playmate to go with. Rock has always had someone around him. We had the ministry, not the ministry,
Nation.
the corporation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the nation, corporation, but he grew. He got popular. Great. He was there for this much time. He wasn't there for that long. Cena's been there for donkey's years.
But bro,
and-
I agree.
The
But
realest
if we're
thing
going to talk
John
numbers
Cena
and
ever
what have you,
said.
the scope of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson being where he is now is thanks to that era. Even though it was that small, it's because of that and how big he got. I'm talking when we're looking at any wrestling fan. Like, I know a kid, well, he's a big man now, who was such a Cena fan. He saw Cena lose to Great Khali, never watched wrestling again. That's how passionate he was. And
he's on the show. Don't talk about him like that.
I have seen a man smash a TV because you know, The Rock beat CM Punk. Now, there are others who'll be like, but The Rock earns it. The Rock is the biggest star of all time.
You saw a man nearly start a fight with Mexicans because Cody lost to Roman.
I mean,
Teardrop Mexicans. I was like, let's go. Let's leave. I do not want to die in America.
man thought they were all Daddy Dom. These are the real legit Vatos, bro. Like, don't do it to yourself.
Hey, man, you don't like Roman? No.
Are
Say
you talking
hello to
about
my
he's the
little friend.
one? He's the one. No. Let me break it down to you. Let's break it down outside. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. Uber. But this is the thing. I get it in the passion, but are you guys ready for the kickback on whoever he defeats? Let's say genuinely in the height.
Why does there have to be a kickback? Explain.
This is what happens. He
In
beats
the
a
height
face.
of a Cody run, look at
Is
what
it-
it
The
was.
is
height
it
has
the
gone.
height?
The height has
Is it
gone.
the height?
The height is done. It's gone.
Old man, old
I
man
agree with
Cena's-
Ben on this. No, AJ. We were talking about this literally the other day in the Rumble prediction. At the end, in our Rumble reaction, sorry. We both agreed, and you honorably said you own the fact that you called that one wrong. Cody has held it down as a babyface champ. It's not height, bruv. We're now not talking about how long is Cody going to hold it for. We're talking about
How long
when
before they
does
turn on
Cody
him?
drop.
Yeah.
Like that's not a bad thing.
No.
It's just the run has come to its natural. It's end of the autumn, beginning of the winter of Cody's run.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep it going for too much longer,
Cars will turn on him.
your prophecy of what you said 12 months ago is going to come true. Now, for all the criticism I levy at Triple H, he is guilty of that belief of long title reigns equal good title reigns, which is just not true. Ask the Death Riders. Fact. Long does not equal good.
That's not what she said.
For most well played. For most part, he's quite good at judging when to take titles off people. He's made some mistakes. Is my freaking camera gone again, or am I okay?
You keep freezing.
You're frozen.
You keep freezing and going back.
What
you move
is
it quite slow.
happening with this bullshit? Is it the cable? Must I restart? Let me come back in. I'll be right there.
He'll
Every
be
time you got
back.
a hot take.
He gets hot. That's right. That's why he stick around.
It gets too hot. It burns the camera.
It burns out the camera. You know what I'm saying? No, the thing is, it's Cody can. Cena wins. He has to win against a babyface, because if he wins against a babyface, that babyface can get up and shake Cena's hand and roll out the ring and give Cena his moment. If he wins against a face, a heel, he has to keep up the appearance of like, oh my God, I can't believe you beat me. So I can see him. Cody can take it, and Cody can go out and shake Cena's hand at the end and be in the ring celebrating with Cena for winning.
So our top contenders in that argument, and I'm not saying Nick would have been perfect for that conversation at this point. So then really, Joe Hendry is a strong contender.
The only problem is Joe Hendry's got the title is for another company.
Listen, I get that. I get that.
I do not want that company to lose. I don't want TNA to lose. I don't want TNA's champion to lose to a WWE wrestler. Any WWE wrestler.
Here's a question just before Nick comes in. Would you be okay with Jey Uso beating Joe Hendry?
No, I don't want any TNA champion, world champion, to lose against any WWE wrestler.
Sorry, how the hell did we go from whatever I was talking about to this?
No, because while you were away, we were talking about the top contender. Cena should lose to a face, not a heel. So in that, I said then the top contenders. I don't really know which way Obafemi stands. I think he's a face, but I think the top two would be Cody and Hendry. And he's like, he shouldn't lose to a
no TNA champion should lose to a WWE wrestler.
But
unless they return the favor.
That's the thing. They won't. History repeats itself.
I do not know that because of the amount of changes, quote you, the amount of changes that have happened. I actually find their booking trajectory much harder than I previously did. Much harder to predict than I previously did. 3
Yeah,
years ago, you
yeah,
wouldn't
you
have
did
even
this.
seen the TNA World Champion in the Rumble. Now it's like one
Well,
of the
you did,
hottest
Mickey
commodities.
James.
World champion, not knockout champion.
Okay. Knockouts world
Yeah.
champion, but we won't go there.
Okay, cool. You see how
It
even
needs
I
to-
made a mistake? That's my
It
point.
needs to be. It needs to have the world in it. It says knockout world champion. It has to have the world in it because it was not a championship without the world.
Yeah, man, words are important. You should know this.
Listen here, you beep 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 beep. I couldn't
There
say
you
those
go.
words.
What was the point I was making before my camera cut? There was a salient
how you
question
enjoy
you
long
asked.
stuff.
Haha.
No, you were saying long doesn't mean good.
Yeah, long doesn't mean good. What I was saying is that Cody's he's at least going until Mania, so he will have had a year's title run. Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe he goes beyond Mania, maybe he doesn't. In the world where he does go beyond Mania, I genuinely believe he's dropping this calendar year. Yeah.
Just
Maybe
it's not a
Backlash,
year,
maybe SummerSlam, maybe Money in the Bank. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
maybe a SmackDown,
Oh,
a random
Jesus.
SmackDown.
Don't Jinder Mahal him, please.
No, we're Mick Foley him.
Look, I don't think, given that we're coming to the late autumn, early winter of Cody's title run and that people are still behind him, I don't think there is any backlash of having Cena beat him if it does happen. In fact, if anything, I think it gives them the carte blanche of being able to continue pushing babyface Cody. So, well, he lost. Let's do him
So
again.
Would you drop him and make him your champ again?
Not
Or would you have sort of
You
filler
mean hot
between?
potato between the two same people? So
Well, Cena drops, rides off into the sunset. You put a tournament out. Is Cody your eventual winner?
I wouldn't even. No, I don't think you do a tournament. I think
The
Cena's
Rumble
winning.
becomes for the title.
Cena's winning. I mean, that's a beautiful call. I love that. I don't believe they do, but I love that.
Triple H done it. It happened that one time. Triple H won the title for a while.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, dude, I think Cena has a 2-month title run as world champion. I think he has a legitimate 2-month title run at a push 3 with minimal appearances, obviously. So
And
it
this
stays
is
marquee. And he drops
WWE.
to someone, and he drops to someone like they did a 3-month title run with Damian Priest, for instance, right? It's not unheard of. Like, they do favor the long title reign, of course, but it's not unheard of in Triple H's booking to do shorter ones. As I said recently, Damian Priest. I don't think there's much. This is where I think they need to play the Cena title win if we do get it carefully. One, to bring this whole thing together. One, I'm hoping, this is speaking with my heart here, I'm hoping they learn from AEW and do what they did with Sting and give love him or hate him, legend of this sport, his moment in the sun. One last moment. Have him toy with our emotions a bit. Maybe have him in a world title match at Mania. Maybe have him lose. Maybe don't have him in a world title match. Maybe have him go for all 4 champions, lose to all 4 champions. Toy with our emotions. I'm on board for the roller coaster. But at some point in this year, I do want to see him actually win the gold. Later rather than sooner, for the sake of the emotional roller coaster. But I do want to see it. So if we go down that route, I'd like to then see him have one title defense and then lose it on the second. Give him a title defense against someone like a Randy Orton. Have a proper legacy match with those two. Or a title defense maybe further down against CM Punk. And this time he retains against Punk instead of loses. And then have him lose to someone. Now we're talking about him giving someone the rub on the way out. Keep on coming back to the guy. Yes, I keep on coming back to the guy.
Because he tried to give him a match, but Sammy ripped his shoulder out, finally gave him a chance.
I can't think of anyone better than Sami Zayn for Cena to put over on his way out. The guy who finally needs to go over.
Here's a question. And it's maybe me wanting it to be the feud I've always wanted it to be. What about he wins it, but he loses to a recently dethroned Gunter, and now you've got your Gunter Cody for the WWE title?
Well, we saw the match, didn't we? It wasn't that great.
But I would like to think that without it being one champion,
it wasn't the ending that made the match mid. It was just a mid match.
That time should never have been it, because now no champ can look weak, so you're going to get a very half shot match. This one where you have a clear definitive winner, one man.
Sonny we paid a lot of money for that.
AJ, I put a lot of stock beyond the story into actual in-ring chemistry, as you know. Respectfully, I don't think Cody and Gunther had the best in-ring chemistry.
It's like
Both-
Ray and Penta.
Both amazing
Surprisingly,
wrestlers, but
Ray and Penta don't have the chemistry, which is
they
surprising.
really don't, do they?
They don't have the chemistry.
Really don't.
But half of the issue with that is you can't start diving off of over the rope to go and attack a man.
I mean, they were. That's
No,
the thing. They
no,
were. Penta kept
but
on
I'm saying
doing his
a-
moves.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in a normal thing, you'd throw a man out, you go up, you do a little bounce, you jump, and you do a thing.
No,
So
just the lock up, head and arm
lock-up was weak.
underneath. Just
Penta was
even that
all over the place.
was kind of like, oh. But anyway, let's drift in. I really, because you know what wrestling fans do is we book what we want to see, and when we don't see it, it's crap. They messed up. They should have did what I said because I know best, right? But I really, really, really hope that Cena goes the entire year and tries everything and doesn't make it, and going out to say that come see Cena on his last day of Raw at the end of the year, and someone gives him a final title shot and he wins it, and he's in the ring, and just like he finally did it.
And he cries and he gets his Oscar for
Cries.
that.
He gets the cry for that, and he does his emotional part, and everyone, the fans will be crying as well because you didn't think that was going to happen. Like it could be on a SmackDown, it could be just a final show, and he ends it by laying his belt out, laying his thing down, and retires at that moment
Nick, can I ask
and
you a question
leaves.
as an ultimate Cena fan?
Hmm.
Instead of all of these titles, how would you feel if he beat Roman for the Ula Fala and we all had to acknowledge him?
No,
Why are you
I'm
asking
joking.
me
I'm
dumb
joking.
questions?
I'm joking. I'm taking that.
Only I got a reply. Only if you can also take CM Punk's bracelet.
But that's been ripped apart. Remember, he choked Drew with
He
it.
puts
That's
it
the
back together.
oh, that bracelet thing is done now.
yeah. The bracelet thing is done.
God,
the bracelet
fam.
thing is done. It made,
But wait,
Well,
AJ,
Drew-
was the
Drew
best
did make
feud
it
of
famous.
2024 according to some. The bracelet.
Drew, because of Drew made him
Listen,
famous.
the feud was good. The
Famous.
end, the payoff, the reason behind it, like it went from hate to bracelet, and that's when it lost a lot of steam. And
So
then
much.
you know what? Swallow my bracelets, boy. Like, Alex, stop it.
It's because of Drew that entire feud
Listen,
had any validity.
The Hell in a Cell
Drew
was
held
also,
it.
the Hell in a
Drew
Cell
was the
also-
only
It
one.
was
Drew the
good. I
one-
also think people saying greatest Hell in a Cell ever. I'm like, stop it.
It was a good match. This is what I'm saying.
It was
It's a
good.
match.
It was good.
Punk is an
It's
old
not
guy.
this goated bloody Hell in a Cell match that people are saying.
Question:
Punk is an
what
old
is your
butcher
favourite
guy.
thing about- If we're going to play that game,
Favorite
Goated.
what?
Goated Hell in a Cell.
take away, take a
Sasha Bailey.
Okay. Yeah.
They couldn't
Yeah.
go to the table. Is that one?
They put on a show. They did put on a show.
Sasha Bailey
Oh.
was epic.
Hell in a Cell.
Triple H Taker, I'd give it to as well. Foley.
Ooh,
Foley
Triple H
Taker.
Taker.
Yeah,
Triple H
with
Taker.
Shawn, yeah,
With
that-
Shawn
that-
as the referee.
Yeah.
that
That's
is-
the best Hell in a
This
Cell
is
because.
what I'm talking about. You got all these matches.
Oh.
Dude, Dan, even the match we saw, Edge and Finn Balor, was a hell of a good Hell in a Cell match.
Listen, I'm not saying that it's the best. I just wanted to know what your favorite was while putting it out there because I
My
would never.
favorite recency bias says Bailey Sasha, but historically, Triple H Taker.
Honestly,
I-
that night, not only did the Cell have an entrance, I thought they should have retired both of those guys, and they should have retired the Cell. It was just like the perfect ending for everything.
Yeah.
But
But you've got
get-
people saying this Punk Drew is the greatest Hell in a Cell match
The
ever.
thing
And I'm
is,
like,
since-
stop it. Come on.
Since it bunks in everywhere, I can say it right now. Punk was never a good wrestler.
No,
And
he's
I'm
not.
saying it. He just says he's best in the world and everyone believes him. He
So did
wasn't
Shane
a good
McMahon.
wrestler. What Punk is, he got emotionally, people get emotionally attached to him. And once you're emotionally attached to that wrestler, they can't do anything wrong.
can I be
Right,
honest?
look, I love Sean, and
He's
Sean,
bop.
one of the best in-ring worker,
Yeah.
and he can fuck up, mess up, and I'll be like, you know what? I get it. I get why Sean would do that. No.
Punk's box office.
but
That's
here's the
Punk's,
thing.
Punk's biggest asset is he knows how to get people emotionally invested to either love him or hate him.
Wrestling is charisma based. You can never deny that because I'm not saying Hogan can't wrestle, but in the height of Hulkamania, The Rock. Let's be honest. Steve Austin, the character Stunning Steve, was an awesome wrestler. Stone Cold Steve Austin was not the most
Not a good
technically
wrestler.
gifted man.
No.
Because he broke his neck
Box
and he
office.
just became punch kick man.
Yeah,
punch,
but
kick, punch,
you
kick.
get
It
what
was
I'm
a
trying to say?
machine.
At the height, when you look at it, and that's the same for Punk. You don't have to be the best wrestler to be at the top. Charisma
Correct.
will take you a
But
long way.
you also, if you
Just
can't
ask
do a
Chad
buckshot
Gable.
lariat, don't try to do a buckshot lariat.
The funniest
Logan Paul
thing
alone.
I have ever seen. The funniest thing I have ever seen. Oh my god!
Just-
And then the Bucks trolling him for that was gold. Gold.
So yeah, that's my thing. But I'm just going on a Punk dislike right now. But
No, look, but Dan, I'll say this to you. I said this to AJ the other day. I don't know if you watched our Rumble review. I posed a question to AJ. How long do you think they knew who the Rumble winner was? And AJ said probably around December, which I agree with. Probably around December time, they had a sort of month and a half, 2-month roadmap for Jay winning the Rumble. But then here's the thing. If that's the case, and I say this as someone who's on your island, does not like CM Punk. Punk's a freaking genius. If they knew for that long that Jey Uso was going over, how good his promos were in getting everyone to buy into the fact that obviously Punk's winning this, and how convincing he was. Nah, what you did, it was your prediction.
I didn't predict Punk.
You did.
I predict Seth.
You did.
I predict Seth.
I thought
to
Seth
win.
was your
Seth
iron.
Rollins.
Seth was
No,
your Iron
Seth-
Man.
Seth was the one to win.
Okay.
No, you're
But
right.
Iron Man was Chad Gable.
Yes. No, I
Good
think he's
shout.
right.
Yeah, Seth is my Iron Man as well. No, me and Leon had the same picks. Sorry, I thought Dan and I had the same picks.
Punk was not even anywhere on my list.
Okay, for those who do watch wrestling, everyone, like, do you guys remember when you came down to my neck of the woods for Mania last year and we went to the local co-op and the guy who was a bit of a wrestling mark happened to be there? When I ran into him pre-Rumble, he was like, Punk's going over, obviously, right? Everyone thought, like,
It's
Punk is
because
the guy.
everyone's scared of it's getting close to WrestleMania time, and everyone's scared that Punk might do a Punk. So like, please give him the main event. Please give him the main event. Everyone's like, he has to get the main event, right? He has like the what's it called match, the Elimination Chamber match. Do you know why everyone's picking Punk? It's not because it's Punk's turn. It's because if he doesn't get the main event, what is he going to do? He needs to get the main event.
I hope.
He needs to get the main event. Literally, it feels like everyone's just worried about him being toys up. Yeah. So that's why everyone's going, he must get it this year. And if he doesn't get it this year, everyone's like,
Punk's a bitch.
But have you seen the way I saw in the match the other day when he beat, who was it, Sammy, for the qualification?
Yeah.
And he held Sammy's face and pointed at the side and said, he's a heel.
Oh, bro.
Punk's a heel.
Punk is absolutely a heel. That would get me. I'm already invested in him because he is box office, and I'm invested in seeing him suffer and lose. But make him a heel.
He's a natural. He's one of the natural heels as well.
Natural heel.
When Punk attacked Drew, it felt more heel than face.
Oh yeah.
And
but listen to his promos. He is a heel.
But here's the thing: even when the heel Damian Priest came running down to cost Drew the title, you're like, this is heelish antics taking place. Drew was the face at that current moment. Everyone was happy. Drew had his Mania moment. Like, you know, the same way we're talking about how Kevin Owens is actually the face in this argument. The same argument kind of applies to Punk. Punk is the heel, guys. I don't know where we're cheering, but Punk is the heel.
Yeah, he really is.
But that's why I love it wrestling right now. So the other day it was only Big Tone, Double V, and myself. What was remaining to get alive, and there was points we were just talking during the match, but there's points we were in the match.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's us three when we're together, we're more focused on the wrestling. But then I started to focus more on the actual wrestling, and I had fun watching it. Once again, I don't have time to be sitting down for 3 hours for each show. A day. I can't. I watch clips, so I do watch pieces, but I watch it in clips. I used to watch like the little breakdown they used to have on YouTube. I can't even do that anymore because that's now stretched to like 40 minutes. I don't watch any TV shows, so I can't give it my time on that. I got an owner of a company upset because I don't watch his show, and I had to explain to him why I don't watch it. But that's my reason for not watching. It's not to do with I'm not a fan anymore. I'm still a fan. I just don't have the time unless I'm there live in person, seeing it, or watching it on pay-per-view with my boy.
So after an hour and 15, let's try and actually get a final
Oh, yeah.
answer here. AJ,
This
let
must
me
be broken
start
up.
with you. Let me start with you. Yes or no? Is Cena winning number 17 in 2025?
See.
I'm gonna go with no.
Cool. I can move on from you then. Den, is Cena winning? Yes or no?
Yes.
If he's winning, which title and against who?
World Heavyweight title against.
Hold on, World Heavyweight title is the Raw title that
Is
Gunther's
Gunther's title?
So
Okay,
you're
what's the
saying
other one?
WWE.
Universal.
It's
WWE
WWE
Universal
title.
WWE Universal title against Jey Uso. Jay's not winning that Mania, but Jay will win it for the summertime.
Wow. I'm curious. Okay, let me build on that. Which pay-per-view is Jey Uso? If it's not Mania, which pay-per-view is Jey Uso winning the title at?
Jay will win
Backlash?
it something like.
It will be post Money in the Bank. How would he go over?
It's Backlash or Money in the Bank. It can only be one of those.
Probably Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank.
Damn.
Is going to have
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Jey Uso
Or does
wins
Jay
that
win
belt.
Money in the Bank and cash in that
This
same
is what
evening?
I'm saying.
No,
that's the only way he
Jey
can do it.
Uso,
Him to transition over.
Unless
In which
he
case
gets
he
a
was now
legitimate
saying-
title match, AJ.
there's a swap thing they do.
It's
Like
done.
Raw.
The window's just closed. Just closed. They can't reopen it in 3 months. I don't see that.
Man, screw that company. They're gonna.
AJ, let's be real. They swap when they want to swap. Come on.
I see Jey
That's not
Uso
stop.
winning.
I know, but you see.
I see Jey Uso winning that pay-per-view, and I see Cena. You know what? I would love, actually, I'm going for a different prediction when it comes to Cena. I'll keep saying end of the month. Cena, last time he had the Money in the Bank, he said, I want to see Cena. I know he can't do the ladder thing no more, but because there's so many people in the match, he doesn't take the heavy bumps. He can take a little bump and lay down. Get him the title. Let him cash in. Let him do what he did to Rey Mysterio. Let someone win, and just as they win, he goes, yeah, give me a chance against you that same night and beat them. Let him win on a heel babyface way.
So that's your prediction.
No, my prediction is win.
Big. That's
My
a
prediction is
bold
win at the
prediction.
end of the. My prediction is
Your
him beating
prediction is
against- winning
Cena
against Jey.
wins, end of the year, no title defenses, and he rides off into the sunset, which leads into a
Yes.
tournament or a rumble, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go with me. Cena does win. I think it's against Punk. And I think it's SummerSlam.
Would Punk be happy with him?
I mean, that would
If he
be
doesn't
cool.
get a Mania main event, would he be happy with a SummerSlam main event?
Well, maybe he does get the Mania main event. At this point, it's almost like my brain's working in a way that's very unlike me, because I'm trying to not include my Mania predictions in this, because I'm not entirely sold that it's written in stone that Punk beats Cody at Mania. I'm not even sure Punk wins the Chamber. It's not written in stone, especially after the Rumble we just got. Nothing's written in stone, which is a beautiful place to be. Finally, that's the feeling I've been chasing. But how, through whatever means, be it AJ's call of Punk winning at Backlash or Money in the Bank, Punk cashing in same evening, I don't know how we get there. But I do think the marquee match for the first ever two-night SummerSlam has got to be epic. And I think you had the Summer of Punk in, what was it, 2008, 2007, 2008? Now you have the Summer of Cena. SummerSlam, night 2, main event, Punk, Cena for the title. He holds it for 2 months and then drops around Survivor Series time to KO or Sammy.
What's nice about that is the whole, it was Punk beating Cena at that. It was SummerSlam, wasn't it, when he blew the kiss?
Yeah.
That wasn't SummerSlam. It was in Chicago.
Yeah. Why would
That wasn't
SummerSlam not
SummerSlam.
be Chicago?
SummerSlam was LA for years, for back-to-back for years. And at that point, it was LA. And can you hear the Titan?
Gee, I hope you can hear it. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Money in the Bank.
What?
Yeah, I'm not, because what's it called? That same night, won Alberto Del Rio won the Money in the Bank that night, and MVK kept calling him out like, "Come out!"
VKM, yeah.
And he
Yeah,
and he
Del
clotheslined
Rio.
him, jump on the top, blow the kiss, and run away. And then 2 nights later, the belt was back.
Yeah, Cena twatted John Laurinaitis and said there's not going to be a Montreal part 2. It was a good moment,
Yeah.
to be fair. They made a really cool wrestling history moment there. And
Oh,
I
by the way,
think
don't watch that
it
match
was-
again. The
Oh,
crowd
it's
was
aged
live,
horribly. Aged
but
horribly.
the botches, there were so many botches.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
crowd just. Oh.
But yeah, these are 2 guys who are not great in ring. They're like 2 of the greatest ever
Charisma
until
kings.
the bell rings, you know?
Charisma.
But I do think that the history, just like Rock Hogan, my favorite match of all time. Not the best in ring you'll ever see, but it's
the
that
crowd.
It's that
The vibe.
moment. You can't beat it. And there is no denying that because of the pop that Punk got in Chicago and how hot that summer of Punk was, it created enough of a moment for it to be historically valid that it's worth revisiting, you know?
Oh
And
my God, that was the last time we heard his old tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last night of his old
Yeah.
tune. And then he
Yeah,
came out and just destroyed my song that I like. And now everyone thinks, oh, you like CM Punk? No, I like the song.
I like cult of personality. I don't like the cult leader.
Yeah.
Well played. Well played. Okay, guys, look, I my reason behind it is I just seen as such a poetic guy, I don't see him wanting, as much as he'll talk about it, I don't see him wanting to beat Flair. That's why I say no.
But he won't be beating Flair.
As a WWE
In WWE law.
as a WWE fan over WCW, aside from NWO, I would love to see Cena outdo Flair. I would love it. I would in that sense, but I don't see Cena, the man, wanting to do it. I just don't see it.
They do a reverse Montreal screw job and they screw themselves. give him the belt. You don't want it? You got it.
Yeah. Cody just laying down.
Cody just laying there.
Finger poke of doom.
Oh,
He gets
that'd be so. Oh,
he gets the
Finger
AA
punk
roll.
of doom.
fuck, that would be the end of wrestling. Oh my god, WrestleMania.
If they do that, I swear the Death Riders will be looking like the hottest act in the world.
What would be funny is if, let's say, Punk or Cody gets an AA, rolls out of the ring, gets counted out, and you're a new champion, and everyone's like, when has a count out ever changed title? And that would be the ultimate.
He's like, I don't want
You're
this.
looking like, you what?
You
That's
what?
the one thing I'll say. The one thing I'll say, however, whether he wins or loses, with the poetic thing, it has to be clean. I don't want any
Yeah.
bull. There
No,
can't
it
be
can't- it
any
can't- it can't be
any
that.
shithousery with his
It
final
can't be.
run.
It can't be. Not,
Which,
not
by the
Cena.
way, is also why I don't like him being in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Aside from the inherent risk of him getting injured and ruining his last year, because at that age, you don't recover quickly. This ain't my man tore his pec apart and then appeared 2 weeks later at the Rumble. It's not that guy. He's not genetically capable like that anymore. He's got to be an element of
Look,
keep
you do
this
a
guy
table
wrapped in
spot, that's the
cotton wool
thing.
for the
You do a
12-year
table
month.
spot, you stretch him out, he comes running
Yeah.
back, he goes up the ladder.
But there was also again the Money in the Bank thing. He can win the Money in the Bank and go away again. Then come back and say, "I've got Money in the Bank. I'm cashing it in on," because he will be the guy that's honorable and tell you the exact date he's coming in for the title. I'm cashing in the bank, Money in the Bank on this date. And dude, he did it before,
Yeah, and that's
where he states when he's going to do it and who's going to do it against.
If he was to win Money in the Bank, it
prepare.
would be that way, yeah.
And then let him do that and said, "I've got my chance. I'll do everything." And if he's trying to do everything to get the championship again, he has to be a contender for that.
It's definitely in keeping with his, with his holier than thou character of calling his shot as opposed to doing a sneaky cash in.
Mm-hmm.
and just
All of these things work. Putting him
Just
through the
confirming
table
this,
early on. So go on. Sorry.
when you said Punk, we're talking the Cody title, the WWE World's title, WWE Undisputed Champion.
Yeah, Cody's belt, 100%. 100%.
I hate the
That's
fact
the
that we're
only belt
going-
he should win.
I hate the fact we can't just say the belt right away.
Roman's belt.
What I
Yeah.
know, it's called the Undisputed WWE Championship.
Correct.
That's correct.
Yuck.
It's a mouthful. This
Why
is
why
one of those rare occasions where words don't matter.
Here's the thing, why is it undisputed?
yellow belt.
Why is it
There's no-
undisputed when
It's
there is
disputed 'cause
another?
there's two, exactly.
There's two other brands within your company.
Yeah,
So how are you the
You
undisputed
can only be
champion?
undisputed when you're holding all the belts.
yeah. I know.
And that doesn't
meant
get
to be-
associated with the title; it gets associated with your status.
Yeah, the belt came together, and
Now
they
you're
haven't torn it
undisputed.
apart.
Roman was
Yeah, the
undisputed.
minute it became
Yeah.
disputed. Anyway, we understand this.
Wrestling logic. Listen, we all know wrestling's dumb. There are certain things you can't
Hey.
question.
My name ain't wrestling. Oh, sorry, wrong person.
Listen. Let's just call Leon in to do the actual ranking based on words. United States title is lower than the Intercontinental title because one does continents and the other one is just the United States. And then even that gets broken down because now there's a North American title. So now what part? Yeah, forget it. Dynamath.
Y'all think I'm
that
a
conversation's
lawyer,
happened.
and y'all think I'm a lawyer. God damn.
Yeah, but anyway, guys,
All
look,
right.
that's the one. Cena, 17, yay or nay? Can you see it happening? And who is it against? And where will it happen? Will it be beginning, end, or mid-year? That's the one. Who will he beat? Who can recover from Cena? Who beats Cena? Is there a tournament? Many questions. How do you find out? Same ministry channel, same ministry time. Well, let's not do that, but yeah, same ministry channel for sure. Yeah, keep the comments
Hit the
coming.
notification bell because
That's
our
the one.
content is sporadic. So if
That's
you
the
hit the
one.
bell, you
Yeah.
won't miss our content because it
Right,
doesn't
right.
come out on a regular basis. It's like
I make random
eclipse.
stuff too.
It's like an eclipse. When it happens, it's special.
That's the one. It's a moment in time. Ministry. Like, yeah, really? Yeah, those guys.
And when you get it, it's an hour and a half.
Hey, it's a good discussion, but no, that's the one, guys. So who gets it? Is Joe Hendry a contender? Does Cena go TNA for the final run? Does he go NXT for the final run, much to Nick's chagrin? There's many options. Which way does he go? We don't know. But until the next time, I'm the one, AJ Anthony Jordan.
Double V.
I'm Den The Tech. I guess I watch wrestling.
Okay,
I
guys.
never gave up. Copyright MOW.
Uso versus Hendry. I'm calling it. All right, guys, I'm out. See ya.